How good were your side today, particularly in the first half?
Yeah, I was really good. I scored 4 goals that we couldn't score really more. So I was in the half time we thought we have continued, but it was more difficult. And yeah, they played better in the second half. But yeah, in the last minutes we were flat. But yeah, you know, great victory, good game. Everyone was happy in the stadium and they enjoyed it. We enjoyed it, and against our rival Man United. So yeah, good night for good afternoon for us.
Our determination from kick-off was looking right at it, and yeah, we finished our chances.
Was it also on those special occasions as well, once the goals start going early, you just sense, you can smell there's more to come?
Yeah, but it's, you know, you can feel it all the time. You see the passes we give each other. We always want to go forward, we always want to attack, and this is what I love about the team. First of all, you know, we always want to go and to attack, and yeah, in the end it's amazing. It's nothing more to say.
I know that Pep wants you in the dressing room now. Can you just settle one thing for us? Who is going to take the match ball?
Why we didn't bring that on the pitch, I've seen, but it's obviously 4 weeks ago, I've seen a different team, a different spirit, a different vibe, and not and convincement. And today we didn't have convincement. From the first minute on, we were not front foot and we were not brave in possession.
Easy to ask, but why was that?
That's always difficult to find out, especially straight after the game. I have to talk with my players, I have to find out. They know they can better. I see the performance Arsenal, see the performance Liverpool, but if you don't fight, and that is what we didn't, yeah, then you get a problem against a team like Man City.
Well, it's a good thing we got the multi-ball system now, because they can both take a ball home, can't they? In the old days, they'd be getting out a saw and chopping it down the middle. She's 22. Do you want to have a guess how many hat-tricks Haaland scored, aged 22?
I wouldn't have a...
15.
Has he got 15 already?
15 hat-tricks, aged 22.
That's not bad, actually. I don't think I'd played 15 games when I was 22 for the first team. Wow.
The 2 late goals, would it be fair to say, slightly gave a misleading scoreline. Manchester United were well and truly thumped, weren't they?
Yeah, they were. I think they'll be pleased that it ended up 6-3, Manchester United. Manchester City completely dominated the game. The way they played in that first half, the way they came out, their attitude, they were devastating against Manchester United. It was as if they wanted to prove, you know, people have been talking lately that Manchester United are on the way back, and, you know, is it going to be a competitive derby? And it was as if Manchester City wanted just to show people exactly where things are at the moment, and that first half showed it all.
Yeah, listen, I don't know, we've said everything we need to say about City. The quality was just, it was too much for Man United. They sort of came out like this, Man United, and got jabbed a couple of times. I thought, oh no, here we go again. I mean, City have done that to nearly every team in the Premier League. They've done it, but local rivals, I want to see more from United. It was men against boys for me.
Let's have a look at the goals then. The easiest thing to actually is just go through them chronologically because of the quality of them and the importance of them as well. And Phil Foden, I mean, we see him now starting regularly for England. I mean, the days of Phil Foden and he's young and he's this and that, he's a regular now.
No, he is. He is.
All the teams.
And you know what? The season, 2 seasons ago, we're saying, let him go out on loan, leave him alone, let him go play games. Then, you know, Pep Guardiola's saying, no. Leave him. Let him just learn his trade with David Silva and Bernardo Silva. He'll get better and better. And that's why he's the best in the world. Foden just looks comfortable.
Yeah, he's developed him brilliantly, but he wanted to develop him in the Manchester City way. He wanted to develop him himself because he knows if he's playing alongside, well, it was David Silva back then, now Bernardo Silva, Kevin De Bruyne in particular, the way they move the ball, the spaces they're playing, the intelligence, he just drifts into that space. He doesn't allow anybody to pick him up. Once Bernardo Silva leaves it in that space we've become so accustomed to seeing Manchester City score from, he's got the quality to put it in the back.
It's a great finish, that, isn't it? It's not an easy finish.
No, it's a difficult finish because he's beyond the near post.
Now, this is important. The Varane was off injured. He'd just been injured, and that has had a knock-on effect, hasn't it?
You could have had 2 Varanes on the pitch, trying to mark hard. I just think he gets a run. Look where he comes from. Gets past Eriksen. McTominay's in there as well. He gets above McTominay as well. Dallow's in there as well. He wants to win the ball. He wants to get
But that's
to the ball
where Varane
first.
would be, wouldn't he?
Yeah, Varane would be in that position as a spur man across that 6-yard line, instead of where Dallow was attacking that ball as it comes in. Eriksen's in there just to try and stop the run of Haaland, just to try and break him up. He doesn't do enough. He doesn't He doesn't barge him enough. He doesn't knock him off his balance enough. But would Varane have done enough? The way you saw Haaland jump there, I mean, he got above everybody comfortably.
You know what he does, and Ozzy will understand what I mean here. What he does, Haaland, he doesn't do anything special. Nothing special at all. OK? He doesn't beat 3 or 4 players and then put in the top back. What he does, he prepares for the finish very well. So if you watch that, he will go away from the ball, he'll shug Eriksen off, he'll get his jump right. Everything he does, preparation-wise, for scoring goals is perfect. The finish is the easy part for him. It's how he prepares, it's the run, it's the nudge, everything's amazing.
And that's made it easy for him to finish,
it makes the hard part easy.
And what he does differently than us, he likes the contact. He
likes
to shrug people off. Quite a lot of strikers.
Wouldn't you if you were built like him? I'd happily do that.
Quite a lot of strikers like space, but he likes the contact.
Yeah, he does.
Leon, the amount of time over the years that Dion and I have talked about the Kevin De Bruyne pass, the little one sort of threaded through the gap. This one is almost the best one we've ever seen because the angle's a bit narrow because he's a bit further up the pitch towards the halfway line, if you see what I mean.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, United, as they were all that first half, guilty of emptying the middle of the pitch. But if you find him in this position, as you've said, how many times have we seen that kind of pass? But that's so narrow, it's so precise. Here we go, Eriksen just finding himself looking round. He's in the middle of the pitch all by himself. He knows De Bruyne is on his shoulder. He knows once Grealish is in there, he's going to be in trouble. But from that moment, we've seen so many goals, having the ability. And now that Haaland's in there, there's actually a bigger margin for error. Haaland is quicker off the mark. He's got longer legs than most. And if you could just feed that in there, that won't be the last goal we see.
Could Varane? I mean, I'm really, nitpicking here. Could Varane be closer to him there?
No.
Knowing it's Haaland and his telescopic legs? No.
Absolutely not.
No.
He's done nothing wrong at all. It's just the quality of the ball, quality of the finish. That is it.
OK, so he's got a couple, and then it's his turn. It's a good advantage played here, to be fair.
It's a great advantage.
And it's time for Haaland to be the assister.
Yeah, and the balls is incredible. That ball could be bobbling into Foden. He doesn't. He looks twice. You can see Foden's there, and he just leaves it on the floor, on the grass. He said to himself, how would I like to receive the ball? I'd like to receive it on the floor so I can just tap it in. Doesn't leave the grass, look. Doesn't leave the grass.
It's a good finish as well by Foden. But I tell you what, Foden showed incredible pace to get up the pitch. That was a quick counter-attack by Manchester City. De Bruyne, Haaland, who were very quick themselves, and he gets on the end of it, travelled the length of the pitch.
Great to watch,
brilliant.
Great to watch.
4-0. Have you ever been 4-0 down at half-time?
I don't think so.
No.
Or have I?
I think I am.
You go along the lines of don't lose the second half. I'm talking about if you're Manchester United now, don't you? Try, give the fans something to cling on to come the end of the game.
Well, you want to take back a bit of pride. You want to go back and try and win the second half, certainly not get beat. Go back out and show that, you respect the shirt, you respect your teammates, and you've got to try.
No, I don't know in that dressing room who's going to go in at half-time and be absolutely livid. Which player is going to, lose their temper and say, right, bam, Everton dressing room, you'd probably be one of those. I'd be one of those in any dressing room I was in at half-time. 4-0 down.
Yeah. This is embarrassing.
The players would have more than likely sorted. We'd be one of those. I'd be one of those in any dressing room I was in at half-time. 4-0 down.
Yeah. This is embarrassing.
The players would have more than likely sorted that out themselves because they would have been embarrassed, and it would have been the same for you guys. Yeah. That's what you need.
So 4-1, Anthony scored a really good goal, to be fair.
Yeah,
then 5-1, and the hat-trick for Haaland. Again, it's one of those crosses which is zipped in at such pace, but which requires a really careful finish, doesn't it?
It's an absolutely brilliant finish. For this play, we've seen this time and time again, Manchester City. We saw it for the first goal as well that Foden scored. Them using that left-hand side, them getting the overload. But once this is fired in, I mean, how many strikers, were saying to Dion before, I've seen put this one over the top of the bar. When it's coming in, it's shin height, it's on the rise as it's getting to you, putting that over the top. But the control he shows in that finish, he just guides it.
A lot of people with a knobbly bit of the ankle, it would have flown over the top.
Yeah, and because the ball's come in so fast, it means that his movement towards the ball can be slower in regards to his leg moving towards the ball. Ball's pinged in, you don't have to do it fast as well, because that's when it goes over the bar. If the ball's travelling at pace, you can slow your finish down a little bit, and your contact, the pace is on the ball.
So he's scored 14 league goals already in 8 games. I can't believe I'm saying this, the English record, and it's an Evertonian, Dixie Dean's back in the 1920s, is 60. OK, up on the screen now, though, the Premier League records. Alan Shearer and Andy Cole, 42 game seasons. Mo Salah, 38 game seasons. But I would suggest, respectfully, that those are seriously under threat. What about Dixie Dean's 60?
At the moment, we can't rule that out. I'm being serious. If he stays fit for the season, he will score. He will certainly beat that record. And the way he's going, he'll probably score. If he goes on this current rate, we're talking mid-60s by the end of the season.
He's scoring pretty much 2 a game.
Are we October now? We are October.
Only just October.
Only just October.
Yeah.
So, you know, we're nowhere near Christmas yet. There's so many games. At Christmas time, as a centre forward, you're thinking, listen, if you can be at 11, 12, 13 at Christmas, you're doing well.
Yeah. Because
then you'll double up the same in the second half of the season. 25, 26, he's brilliant. He's going to be at 30 before Christmas comes.
So
he'll be on at 30.
That's hat-tricks in 3 successive home games. That's a record.
That is incredible.
It
doesn't surprise me because, like I've said before...
3 hat-tricks in 8 games.
Yeah. His desire to get into goal-scoring positions is bigger than most. He just wants to be the one that puts the ball in the net. He gets such a buzz out of it.
And he's very good at it.
And he's very good
As is Phil Foden, to be fair, today. So first hat-trick for Phil Foden, which he thoroughly deserved on the basis of his 90 minutes.
Yeah, well, on this 90 minutes, he was terrific. On his Manchester City career so far, he's been absolutely outstanding. And for a young boy playing for your local club to score a hat-trick in that game is incredible. And you know, again, it's a very composed finish. It's a good run. There's 2 VAR checks, whether it went out on that occasion or whether he was offside. Both passed the VAR checks. And Phil Foden had probably the biggest argument of the day with Haaland about who gets which ball and who gets the man of the match accolade.
And a hat-trick and 2 assists for Haaland there as well, who actually, with his stature, made a bad pass from Grealish into a possibility of a 6th goal.
Yeah, and with it being him as well, as a Man United player, you're thinking, well, don't allow him to turn. You're thinking the ball's bad, he's made it into a goal, get right behind him, force him back the other way.